Okay, in Unit 4, you're introduced to speech audiometry and how that fits into the standard audiometric test battery. And I want to review just a couple of key concepts. Obviously, this won't be an exhaustive discussion of all that's important within the unit. But one thing that I want to make sure you understand is the difference between threshold measures in speech audiometry and suprathreshold measures. Just like we obtain thresholds for pure tones, we can also obtain thresholds when the stimulus is speech. And there's two particular types of threshold measures that we considered within this lecture. Speech detection, otherwise known as the speech awareness threshold. This is the level at which a listener, approximately 50% of the time, just detects or is aware of speech signals. It doesn't require any comprehension or understanding. It's just the presence of the signal. This isn't typically used in the test battery, but as you can read from the text and as I talk about in the lesson notes, there are some situations where a speech detection or awareness threshold is desired or necessary. The other measure, which is more common in the standard audiometric test battery, is what's known as the speech recognition threshold. You should review the procedures for obtaining speech recognition thresholds and note the similarities between the procedures for speech and the procedures for pure tones, in particular down 10 up 5 procedure. The units of speech recognition thresholds are in decibels hearing level, like we would see for pure tones. One benefit of the speech recognition threshold is that it allows us to cross-check with the pure tone average results. The speech recognition threshold and the pure tone average should be within approximately 5 or 10 decibels of hearing level between each other. If they're not, you should explore further why they are different. And in the lesson notes, I provide some potential reasons why there would be a discrepancy between the speech recognition threshold and the pure tone average. Speech recognition threshold, the typical stimulus is the spondee words, and you should revisit what a spondee word is. So these are all threshold-based measures. Again, criterion would be 50% of the time a listener either just detects or is aware of the presence of the speech signal or recognizes, which does imply that there's some sort of response, either a verbal response in an adult or a pointing response in a child. The next main category under speech audiometry are suprathreshold measures. So again, suprathreshold implies that these are not threshold-based measures, that the level of the signal is at a level above a listener's threshold. In the unit and the text, we talk about lots of different materials that we can use to compute speech recognition scores. I'm going to focus most specifically on word recognition scores using monosyllabic words that are either phonetically or phonemically balanced. It's important to understand that as this is not a threshold search, the way in which we score word recognition is not on the basis of decibels of some hearing level. Instead, it's in percent correct. How many words did a listener, let's say, appropriately repeat back to me out of the total number of words presented? So again, this is a percent correct measure most of the time.